Welcome into Friday night in the boot. The regular season has concluded. We are now on to the playoff section of this. And Steve, it's the first round, but it still feels like Christmas out there. It feels like we're getting all these gifts early on, and we're getting a couple of upsets as well.
Absolutely. Steve Schneider along with Spencer Verrett. It's the road to the Dome. It's the first round of the playoffs. Everybody is 0-0. Some teams had byes. Some of the better teams don't start till next week, but we're going to start with one of those pivotal 16-17 matchups in Division III. Parkview Baptist, the 16th seed, getting to host against Lafayette Renaissance Charter. Hunter Landry moving over from LCA to coach the visiting team. And boy, Parkview putting up a big night of highlights. This is Noah Graves, the Eagles quarterback, getting the first down as we pick up action with Parkview already in control of this game, looking for more. Graves throws it deep, but Javion Eugene goes up. High points the football and makes the interception to turn the Eagles away. However, the Eagles defense had a huge night. Check them out making this play. Logan Sorrell on the sack for the Eagles. That would set up a chance for Parkview to score. The exclamation point as Graves will go to Galen Grace. He's wide open after he breaks that tackle down the sideline all the way to the house for the touchdown. Parkview led this one from beginning to end, and they will advance in the Division III playoffs 49-21. Lafayette Renaissance Charter is exiting, and of course the Dunham Tigers now face Parkview in the next round, Spencer, and we've already seen this movie once, but it could be different next time because Dunham routed the Eagles the first time.
It could be, because in the week 1 game, I remember it was just pouring down rain the whole time. Haven pretty much could do whatever he wanted to do, and it'll be interesting to see if Parkview can maybe have a better showing in this one. Let's head along I-10 out west to Lake Charles College Prep. They're hosting McKinley, 9v24 matchup. You see the Trailblazers running out there. Now, let's go ahead and get started with these highlights. Give it Dylan Vital. He's going to find Elijah Peep, and he's going to find his way past a couple of defenders into the end zone, basically almost nearly untouched.
Nice block there at the end to clear the way, that's for sure.
That would give College Prep a 14-0 lead. There's Vital handing it off there, and they get into the end zone for another touchdown. And Steve, I think we could just put these highlights on repeat here for as many times as Lake Charles College Prep wants to score. Here's another handoff here to number 9, and he's into the end zone. And final score for this one, it was a lot to a little. 42-0 Lake Charles College Prep. They'll take on John F. Kennedy next week, who secured that bye at the 8th seed. Going to be an interesting one in Division II Select, especially with this next game we have up.
Yeah, let's talk about the Division III matchup between Booker T. Washington and Buckeye. Division II, I should say. Buckeye and Cenla, the host team. Booker T. Washington out of New Orleans. Buckeye looking for their first ever playoff win, but Booker T with a 3rd and goal. The Panthers, no Lions allowed, and they take the first 7-6. Second quarter, though, the Lions' Omar Bro gonna hand it off. Panthers on offense. Jim Burlew breaks through, gets a huge first down. Buckeye with some great field position, and the Panthers down by the goal line looking to cash in. However, bad snap. Lions not gonna let it go. Booker T's Edward Frank takes this to the house. Man, you talk about a change of complexion for this game. Lions go up big in the second half. The Panthers did bring some life back to their attack as Burlew would take one up the middle for 6 right there, but Buckeye unable to survive a big Booker T. Washington rout, 56-14. So Booker T. Washington advances. On the board you see University Lab could be their opponent in the next round, but we don't know yet.
We don't know yet, because if University Lab is found guilty in court, they would have to forfeit, and that would mean Booker T. Washington would be the first team in the quarterfinals out of everyone, especially if it happens early on in the week. So that's an interesting storyline there to follow, but could happen. Could we see Booker T. Washington in the quarterfinals? I think that'd be fun to watch. It
would be fun and certainly history-making for them. All right, we got to take a break. We're just early on the Friday Night in the Boot show, week 1 of the playoffs. For Spencer, I'm Steve. Stay right there.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, Our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play!
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. We got some scores for you from around the state. St. Charles Catholic takes down Northside 33-8. They'll take on Madison Prep next week. I'm excited about that one. Estruma also takes down Booker T. Washington Shreveport 46-44. Plenty of points there. They'll play Haynes Academy next week.
F.A. Douglas and Livingston Collegiate, they don't play till tomorrow. The winner would get E.D. White, who has the bye for this first round of the playoffs.
Moving on to some other scores here. We got E.D. White. There we go. St. Michael's, they fall to Hannon tonight, 29-20. Hannon with the 22 seed over 11 matchup. They get the W. They'll move on to play Vanderbilt Catholic next week. Loyola Prep, another high-scoring game. I've noticed a trend this season. We got a lot of high-scoring games. They beat Sophie B. Wright 64-44.
And Huntington goes on the road and beats Hammond, and the prize they get, they play Edna Carr on the road again next week, the number 1 team.
St. Aug takes down Karen Crow 44-7. They'll take on St. Thomas More next week. McDonough 35 takes down Riverdale 49-9. Then it'll be an all New Orleans matchup between them and Rummel.
C.E. Bird over Woodlawn. Listen to some of that game on the radio tonight up in Shreveport. 20-0 the final. They will now come back down to South Louisiana. Bird's been down here a lot this year. They'll go over to St. Paul's and see how they can do against the Wolves, who are the number 7 seed.
You move on throughout the playoffs, you'll see some early matchups. You start seeing teams travel down a lot more. Maybe they're getting ready for stuff. Maybe you're getting ready to travel up there. Get ready for that travel in the playoffs.
Maybe you don't want that road trip to be the first one you make in the playoffs when your kids are all starry-eyed and don't know what they're doing. A lot of thought goes into those decisions.
Well, let's go back to yesterday. There was only 3 playoff games yesterday. One of those was Bastrop taking on Opelousas, the defending champs of Division II Select, the number 14 seed, welcoming Bastrop, the number 19 seed. And Opelousas quarterback Zach Malvo, he throws up a dot to the sideline and finds Corey Fontenot for a 37-yard touchdown. Tigers strike first, 6-0. Second quarter now, running back, you know him, Deshaun Ford. He's going to run his way down the sideline and find his way to the house, 42 yards.
We can't find him,
Yep.
but neither could any of the tacklers.
That's true. That's true.
the point.
He's into the end zone. Opelousas up 14-0 after the 2-point try. Yeah, there he is. And here comes Malvo again. It's going to be 4th down on this one. He's going to find Fontenot again, and Fontenot could basically walk his way into the end zone. No one around him. Fans on the sideline, they don't look impressed. I mean, look at this, man. These are some good players out here.
They're used to seeing it. They're spoiled from that performance in the Dome last year. Of course, Jennings had a bye, and so that'll be a heck of a matchup.
It will.
Opelousas and Jennings in the next round of the Division II non-select playoffs. How about DeRitter at Northwest? The Raiders trying to make a statement tonight as they were expected to get the job done. First quarter, it's Connor Rushford. Look at that. Laying the wood for the Dragons right there. Then a 3rd and goal, and it's A touchdown for DeRitter. They go in front right there. Second quarter, first play for the Raiders to start the second frame. A reverse, and it's Marquez Davis down the sideline for the touchdown. So Northwest gets onto the board, then tied at 7. Raiders back on offense. Jaden Chavis to Dylan Gilbo. Makes the catch, lands on his feet, down the sideline, and dives in there for the touchdown. Northwest with a little spike for emphasis right there. 35-7, the number 11 seed over the 22 Dragons. They will get the winner of the Plaquemine Grant game, and that was the Green Devils, 43-6 over the 27 seed.
Tell you what, I love that he threw the spike, and I didn't see a flag come in there. I love it whenever we
let him celebrate a little.
Yeah, let him celebrate. Let's check in on the other team who played in the Dome last season. Cecilia, another low seed, but they get it done over Pearl River tonight, 50-29. The 18 seed Cecilia Bulldogs and the 14 seed Opelousas Tigers both played in the Dome last year. Next week, Cecilia gets another pack of Bulldogs. They'll take on Lutcher, the number 2 seed, and that will be a game I will be watching very closely.
Lots of points on the board, 79 right there. We're about to have the team that scored, what, 86 in one game?
It's a crazy amount of numbers.
Stay right there. Friday night in the boot rolls on.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Buying online is easy, but not when it comes to buying medications. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl. Kids are dying from these fake pills. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A lethal dose is smaller than a pencil point. Worse yet, medical professionals can't tell the difference between real pills and their counterfeits. Don't take anything that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
The weather was great, but a storm rolled into Opelousas tonight. The Delta Charter Storm is who we're talking about. They scored 84 points in a 4-overtime game earlier this year, but they have trouble from the outset. That's Alex Thomas, Westminster, 220-pound freshman who knocks down Tyron Singleton. After a punt, the Crusaders go into work. Stephen George connecting with Damian Thomas to move the chains. Next play, it's senior running back Joseph Brown, hard over the right end, picking up the first down. Ball at the 15, Michael Cunningham runs wild and runs wide. Stiff arm, the defender keeps his feet. He's in for the touchdown past the pylon. And the Crusaders on the board. Cunningham celebrating with George, and Westminster goes up 6-0. Delta Charter, though, up to the challenge. They can score some points, as we mentioned. Will Wisely going to eat on this drive. The senior up the sideline, gets the Storms across midfield. Next play, Wiley calls his own number, darts through the middle. He's brought down, but not till he gets to the 5-yard line. These teams have potential to score lots of points. So first and goal, Wiley will complete the scoring drive, reverses course, limps his way into the end zone. Ball game tied 6 apiece, but that's not a good sign if you're a fan of Delta Charter. Anyway, back to Westminster. Check this out. A receiver running wide open. Showing off the arm was George, who finds Jamari White. That's a touchdown. White, one of only 6 seniors on the squad. but he gets the touchdown to give them the lead. Next possession for Crusaders, Joseph Brown. He's in the end zone. Westminster now has scored a pair of rushing touchdowns and one through the air. They lead 20-6 late in the first half. George going deep again over two defenders. The connection is Gavin Frith makes the catch, gets the score. Westminster Christian exploding after 27-6 at the half. They do 27-6 in the second half. That adds up to a 54-12 victory. They get the reward of playing number 1 VC, the Screaming Eagles, in the next round of the playoffs.
Tell you what, we got another one here for you. Westminster Christian, or sorry, we're going to go to Delhi Charter taking on St. Martin's. Homecoming, or sorry, there goes Harlem Berry right there into the end zone for a touchdown. And then we'll see Delhi Charter is going to give them some fight, though, here. The Gators, look at how they got the Gators, just like the Florida Gators themselves. There's another touchdown
Preview
here
of tomorrow afternoon, is that
right,
what you're saying?
Right. So let's see Harlem Berry here again. There goes Harlem Berry. He's really tough to bring down, though, whenever you think about it. I mean, LSU commit, lots of weight on him. He's going to be always hard to bring down. And guess what? You know what? If it's not broke, Steve, we just stick to it, right? You don't fix it if it's not broke, right?
Yep.
And there he goes again, and he'll walk into the end zone as well. Harlem Berry, these highlights going to have a lot of Harlem Berry. This guy is simply incredible. And there he goes again, another move. The Gators just can't keep up. And then he takes a contact as well, getting his way into the end zone.
LSU fans are licking their chops here to get this guy in the backfield.
They are, because you're also going to have him doing the same thing to the Gators. Gators going to try to go long here. That's a good catch, and he gets into the end zone. Another touchdown there for number 10. Rocking, like I said, it looks just like the Florida Gators. And another chance here for Delhi Charter. Lots of charters here in this segment. But that one's going to be picked off. That's Cade Vinju, the sophomore, with the interception. And the final score from this one, 55-36. Delhi Charter goes down. St. Martin's will take on St. Edmund next week. And that'll be a good game because both those teams, they love to run the ball. And I want to see who's ready to run the ball even more.
It's what you expect, an 8 versus a 9. All right, we got to take another time out here on Friday Night in the Boot. Stay with us.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. Hamilton Christian gets by St. John 41-30. They'll take the Rebels of Riverside, who were in the Superdome last year. LCA 72-0 for the Knights over Beekman Charter. They get the Pios of Notre Dame and Louis Cook. And A-Meet, another route, 56-0 over Sarah T. Reed. They will get the Bunkie Panthers. How about Slaughter Community Charter? 50-20. They'll get Jules Sumner. De La Salle, 48-0 over Fisher, gets Calvary Baptist, which was in the Dome last year and won a title. Pope John Paul, 39-14 over Holy Savior Menard, that should say. Episcopal awaits the Jaguars in the next round of the playoffs. How about North Lake Christian over St. Louis Catholic? We saw the Saints here in Baton Rouge for lunch. Catholic New Iberia, the opponent for North Lake Christian. Darbone Woods, that should say, beat Country Day, 42-14. They get the Greenies of Newman. Loranger, 60-7 over Kenner Discovery. They get the #1 seed, Archbishop Shaw.
Lots of points up there, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Lots of blowouts, unfortunately.
Lots of blowouts, but I'm sure as we keep going along, we'll see some more points. Let's head out to Covington now. The Lions welcoming the Barb Buccaneers to town, a trip to the mighty Neville Tigers on the line as we see Covington running out there. And we're going to see the Lions on the first drive. I like this play here. 3rd down try. They get the screen pass, but that gets read perfectly by Hayden Bessenberger to force the punt. Bucks do nothing.
Bessenberger plays for the Barb Bucks, is that right?
Yes, Bessenberger plays for the Barb Bucks. Bucks do nothing with on offense, but the Lions' next possession, quarterback Caden Heck throws it right to Dane Dixon, who then runs into his own guy, but he eventually gets a little free down the sideline. He's in there for a nice return. The Barb defense showing out early in this one, trying to set the tone, especially on the road. You want to have that defense. The Covington band try to pump up the crowd, pump up these offenses a little bit, but they're going to give it the wrong way in the offenses because there goes Eric Jones Jr. He takes a hit and he gets out of bounds, fumbles it, but, he's fine. He's out of bounds. And then the next play on 1st and goal, get it to Jones Jr. again, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. First blood to the Bucks. They're up 7-0. So we see Dennis Skeet Owens there, dealing with a little bit of kick and tease action. Covington offense still able to get anything going, but look at this on the punt. Ball's going to roll inside the 5-yard line, and that's Luke Ledger tries to pick it up, but he turns it over, he muffs it, and it's recovered there by the Lions. They're unable to do anything with it on offense, though. They kick the field goal, and they get something out of it, but for being inside your own 10-yard line to start the drive, I feel like you would want a little bit more out of that, and that was Jackson Alleman on the field goal. And then later in the second quarter, Lions back in the red zone, and it's Jeremy Elzey, their star two-way player, who gets into the end zone from a few yards out to give the Lions the lead. 10-7. This game was back and forth, though, after that. Final score, Covington 36, Barb 29, and that's going to be a long drive for the Covington Lions up to Neville, and it's going to be a tough matchup for them. But Lions versus Tigers, you never know what you're going to get.
West Monroe, a 21 seed, had to hop onto I-20 and head over to Bossier to take on Parkway. Parkway, the number 12 seed. You'd figure they'd be the favorite, but check how this game goes. The Rebels get the ball first. Ryder Dejan. The pitch to the running back, but it's a reverse. Kavion Mitchell rolls in. Touchdown, West Monroe. Flag on the play for a block in the back. That's waved off, and the Rebels are in front by a 7-0 score. Second quarter, Dejan pitch to Caden Willis. He's going to throw it. Incomplete, but a flag on the play for pass interference. Trez Davis likes that call, and it's a first down after the penalty. Dejan. Kedrian McNeil. Touchdown, Rebels. 14-0. West Monroe shocking the home crowd at Parkway. We jump ahead with a 21-0 score. Parkway trails 4th and goal from the 2. Gavin Farrington hands to C.J. Dudley, met at the goal line by Parker Todd. Elijah Thomason on the cleanup. The refs rule it short. West Monroe would drive the length of the field to go up 28-0. Parkway looking for something positive. Less than a minute to go in the first half. Farrington's pass to Gary Burney, first down around the 35. 4 seconds to go. Farrington deep to Gary Burney. Makes the catch in between two defenders. Touchdown. They would go for 2 and make it 28-8, but it wasn't nearly enough as West Monroe goes on the road and gets the dub. 35-14. They now have a 6-5 record on the season and will take on the winner of Mandeville-Thibodaux tonight, which was Mandeville Skippers, 31-16 over the Tigers.
Last year, West Monroe upset in the first round. This year, they're playing the people who are upsetting Parkway. Let's head back down south here. Walker taking on Dutchtown. The only loss this season for Dutchtown was against Walker. But the Griffs starting off the game here with what they want. LaKedron Harvey running his way down the sideline there. A few plays later, the touchdown from Harvey. Strong runner he is. There he is into the end zone, trying to pull him out, but don't try to slow the big fella down. He gets in for the end zone. Now Walker with the reverse pass for the touchdown. That's Braylon Kent who tosses it to Troy Silv. Normally it's Silv who's doing the passing, but this time he's on the receiving end for the touchdown.
Looks good as a receiver. Flip him over.
He's got the number 48 on as well. I always like to highlight this. But here comes the Griffins. They try to respond, but they're going to fumble this one in the end zone. Who's going to recover it? It's going to bounce around a lot, and it's Walker who recovers it in the end zone. They're going to try to run this one out as well. Look at him here. There you go, Steve. They're going to run it all the way to around like the 50, maybe into Dutchtown territory, but that's a big swing of momentum.
Unbelievable. Walker has got the number for the Griffins, don't they? Look at this.
And here's Silv. He's going to lay it off.
Oh!
Look at that's the kicker, I think. And he's going to get taken down. Look at how many trick plays we're getting tonight. Here's Silv again. He's going to look to the end zone, and that's number 1.
Chad Mahaffey.
Carleon
going into
Joseph.
His bag of tricks.
14-7 at the half. Final score from this one. Walker, 41-27. Dutchtown only lost 2 games all season, and both of them were to the Walker Wildcats. Walker will move on to play Southside, who took down Live Oak 42-10.
Still to come on the boot. Lots of big scores. Stay right there as we get ready to watch and see what happened between Ouachita and Denham Springs in overtime, and would the Zachary Broncos bounce back from that beating they took against Catholic High? Don't go anywhere.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. Division IV non-select scores here for you. Franklin upsets White Castle on the road 44-0. They'll move on to play DeQuincy next week. Elton and Bazille play out a close one, 22-18. Elton gets the win. They'll play Logansport, who played Varnado and beat them 61-0 after Varnado was late because there was a crash on 190. You got to feel for Varnado there. That's a long drive back home, especially after getting hung up in traffic. Mangum takes down East Iberville 63-28. West St. John takes down Arcadia 40-6. And there's some more here. Homer that's Eastfell with the win over Homer. 6-0 was the final. Eastfell wins. They'll move on to play South Plaquemine next round. A big time upset. A lot of people picked Homer to get in the dome, especially with how open this is. We've got some more select scores here for you. Kentwood takes down St. Mary's 56-6. They'll move on to play Ascension Episcopal. Central Catholic wins 14-0 over Lincoln Prep. They'll play Covenant Christian, the undefeated
That's a
Lions.
rematch, right?
That is. They just played in Week 10, and it was the Covenant Christian who got it done. And the Ouachita Christian, 49-12 over Glenbrook. They'll play Catholic of Point Capee. Really, really good team there.
All right, let's talk about some of the big boys.
Yeah, let's go from Division IV up to Division I. Out to Monroe as well.
Denham Springs on the road. Brett Beard and his crew hoping to do some damage against West Ouachita, the Chiefs. First home playoff game since they've been in the state's highest division. 13 seed, hosting the 20 seed. Denham Springs, that's a pretty cool shot right there, right into the huddle as they get ready for the coin toss. We started out with MJ Owens.
Oh,
Riding a defender right there. Actually, it's after a field goal into the first quarter. Then it's Owens' 21-yard touchdown right here, his 13th of the year. There was no field goal. The first quarter was scoreless, but now the Chiefs on top 7-0. Good shot of the young man right there who got him on the board. Denham's 3rd and 10 from the 47.
laying the wood.
Dowdy definitely laid the wood. A turnover on downs. Chiefs, though, fumble the football and give it back. Jerry Horn on the quarterback keeper. 7-yard touchdown, quiets the crowd. 7-6. Then it's
that's a 2-point conversion.
right
there.
after they got stopped, 7-6. And then first play of the next drive, and it's going to be Ozark breaking loose. Nobody home. He goes 71 yards for the touchdown. 3:30 to go in the first half. Chiefs in front, 14-6. The Yellow Jackets would drive and face a 4th and 1 from the 44. 49 seconds left in the half. Does he make it, Spencer? You make the call.
Oh, it's a little tight there.
Impossible to tell, but you know what? They did. They ruled, and it didn't get the first down. The game would get crazy, eventually going into overtime. Tied at 35. The Chiefs looking for the go-ahead score. MJ Owens puts his team in front. Horn goes to work for the Jackets. Touchdown pass, 17 yards. Denham Springs will go for 2 and the win, trailing 42-41. Horn tries to break loose, but no. It is picked off in the end zone, and the Chiefs hang on to win 42-41. West Ouachita turns away the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. They will take on the Central Wildcats in the next round of the playoff. The number 4 seed of David Semino got the first round bye.
What a win for West Ouachita. I mean, the scenes afterwards, it looked like they may have stormed the field there. That's what you like to see, though. Let's head back down south to where Denham's kind of from. They're in the area. Zachary taking on Sam Houston. You got Zachary, who played in the Dome last year, 14
Nice nostrils
seed.
there.
Here comes Caleb Gonzalez. He's going to find Trey Cheney. And Trey Cheney with the long touchdown reception can almost walk his way into the end zone after he beats the defender. Spins the ball as well. I saw the flag come out there, referee. Come on now. Next drive, Zachary. Cheney comes up with another big catch to give the Broncos to 1st and goal. And then DeVecchio Ruffin, who had a lot of touchdowns last week against Catholic, gets into the end zone for another touchdown. It's 14-0. Ruffin back at it again. Another touchdown run coming here. Look out for DeVecchio Ruffin. He went toe-for-toe with Jada Miles last week. Miles was able to outlast him, but this time, Ruffin's not going to be outdone. Another touchdown for him is 21-0. Going for more is the Broncos, but it's going to be Philip O'Neill who steps in front of Caleb Gonzalez's pass, and he's going to intercept this one and take it for a nice return as well into Broncos territory. And then they'll get into the end zone. Gavin Stout to his twin brother, Ty Stout, to cut the Zachary lead to 21-7, but Ruffin will rough his way back into the end zone for another touchdown. I'm counting right now. That's 3 for him. And here comes Stout. He's going to find Drew Dronette. And Dronette's going to find his way into the end zone. I'm noticing a pattern between this game and the game last week. Lots of points. Here comes
It's a
Stout.
fast track in Zachary, that's for sure.
He's going to find Aiden Rose, goes up and gets it, and can walk his way into the end zone. If you keep the score at home, it's 28-21 now. And Rose isn't done yet. Here comes Stout, rolling out to his right, looks way downfield. There he is again. There's Rose. Rose, does he have the speed to get into the end zone?
I think he does.
He does have the speed. We're tied up at 28. Look at this. Sam Houston was down by a lot to start this one, but they're coming back here. But guess what? Guess who else isn't done? Is that him again? It's not, is it? It's
Mr.
DeVecchio Ruffin again. 35-28 now. He's got to be tired after all this running he's done the past couple of weeks.
He set a school record over 300 last week against Catholic in a loss.
There's an interception from Michael Seps on a pass over the middle. Ruffin's going to get back to work again. Give it to the big fella again. He's going to rough his way past a couple of defenders. You can't bring him down into the end zone for another touchdown.
That's what you call a
42 to
bucking
28.
Bronco right there, just bucking off tacklers left and right.
But they'll never go away easy. But there goes the ball. That did get away there from Rose. And Zachary takes over a great field position. You know what? Give it to, you know what? If it's not broke, don't fix it, right, Steve? Give it to Ruffin again.
14 is the dude.
He
Look at
is
him.
the dude, and he's gone again for another touchdown. Final score from this one, Ruffin had 6 touchdowns on the night, 54 to 35. Zachary will take on Ruston. Those two teams met in the Dome last year. Got to be exciting for that one to be happening.
And isn't it crazy? They scored 55 last week and lost by a lot. They score 54 and win by a lot. Congratulations to Coach Brew and the Broncos. They had their senior night tonight because it was postponed last time because of the weather that moved in. All right, let's go to an 18-15 matchup. 18 would be Westgate on the left side of your screen, taking on the Gators of Santa Ma. Westgate was up 14-6. Looking for more, but Trannon Benjamin's pass is picked off by Easton Humphrey of the Gators. Santa Ma stops a scoring threat right there, but they can't capitalize. So the Tigers then go to Tavis Gordon. He's into the end zone for the touchdown, like those Tiger stripes, and it's 21-6, Westgate in front. Gators would strike back.
Oh.
More defense. Same guy, Easton Humphrey, steps in front, gets the pick, coming this way, gets him into scoring range. From there, it's Quentin Elisar. Here it comes right into your living room. Ooh, did he step out? It looked like maybe, but no. They say it's a touchdown, so that makes it a 21-13 game. Fire that cannon, will you? Westgate, though, drains the clock with time running out.
Oh,
Detravius Lively, a big run here. They finally bring him down, but Trannon Benjamin, the quarterback, will ice the game with this touchdown, and Westgate goes on the road with the mild upset over the 15th seed Santa Ma, 28-20. Westgate with the win, a tall task. Undefeated Airline, the number 2 seed in the state, is where they'll head next week.
Really impressive win for Westgate, especially with all the injuries they had this year. Jabari Antoine was out. We wondered if he was going to play tonight, but he doesn't get to go. It seems like they just ran Wildcat the whole time. They were just fine with that. Be an interesting test next week against Airline. Don't go anywhere. We've got more highlights coming your way in the Division I and all levels coming up here next.
Buying online is easy, but not when it comes to buying medications. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl. Kids are dying from these fake pills. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A lethal dose is smaller than a pencil point. Worse yet, medical professionals can't tell the difference between real pills and their counterfeits. Don't take anything that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
You mentioned Westgate just now, and there are a lot of name brand teams out there that maybe during the regular season they struggle with the schedule they play, with some injuries. You know, Zachary, that we just talked about, is a team that could be primed to make a run after having that tough game against Catholic and some losses maybe you didn't expect them to have, or at least not by the margin. And another team that maybe people are looking at is Destrehan, the team that didn't have a great season yet came on late in the year and certainly had a good impact in this one.
Yep, they were taking on Ouachita Parish tonight. Jackson Fields is their quarterback. They've been undefeated ever since he's come back. As we see here, the punt is going to be fumbled, I believe. Oh, there it is. Popping out. Who's going to land on top of it? Ouachita lands on top of it. Good start here for the Lions, trying to pull off the upset. Long travel down south. Here comes Montrell Connor. He's going to scramble around for a little bit. He's a really shifty guy back there. Scrambles. He picks up the first down on the reach up front. Here comes Connor. He's going to hand it off to...
Reverse.
Oh, it's a trick play, actually.
And they're trying to
it's
throw
on fourth down as well. But I think Destrehan.
The Wildcats were ready.
They snuffed that one out.
Oh.
There's another trick play.
Oh, my
Is that
goodness.
Dylan Berrymont taking the fake punt? The defensive tackle takes a fake punt. I think they were ruled short there. They are. And then here comes Jackson Fields. He finds Jabari Mack, who gets tackled around the 5-yard line. And then Fields again going to throw it up to the corner. It's Jabari Mack again for a touchdown. And that puts the Wildcats on front. And they would roll in this one 30-12 over Ouachita. It'd be interesting to see if Destrehan can really put a run together here and make a deep run.
I tell you what, some of these coaches, it's not even Thanksgiving. They're coming out with Christmas presents, all these trick plays.
I mean, it's the first round of
playoffs.
playoffs.
Out of the bag like Santa.
You're playing against teams that you might not have that might not know what you got. You know, you throw out the trick plays. Destrehan will have to do the reverse trip, basically, kind of a little bit down I-20 as well. But they'll take on Northwood Shreveport next week, who got a 54-27 win over Salmon. So long trip coming up for the Destrehan Wildcats.
And speaking of trips, Ouachita went on the road, couldn't get it done. But how about Huntington, who came down to South Louisiana to take on Hammond, and they defeat the Tours handily. The Raiders over the Tours by a 34-6 final. And the matchup there has them going against Edna Carr in the next round.
Not really the best Christmas present, right? You get one win, and then you got to move on to the next round. You got to play Edna Carr. People call them the best team in the state. Be interested to see how teams handle the bye week as well, because a lot of teams get byes. Let's go back up north, though. A classic in the regular season. Evangel and Shreve was 77-76, and as many overtimes as you want to count. Once again, playing on a Thursday night. Here comes Pop Houston. He's going to pump once. He's going to run around in the backfield. Got like 4 defenders all over him. This is common for the Shreveport area. Houston's going to air it out, and he will find Johnny Casey Jr. And Johnny Casey Jr., big fella, get into the end zone. Touchdown, Evangel. That would make it 15-7 after a 2-point conversion. Houston's fired up, but we pick it up now in the fourth. It's 51-48. Captain Shreve, Brody Savage, pressured, has to throw it, gets picked off by Day-Day, Damari Drake, who returns it the other way for 6. That would put the game on some ice, and Evangel would win this one 58-48, and that is what the Eagles wanted. They get it done. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep this rolling, get some momentum, and try to get there.
Evangel now has a winning record, right?
Yes.
West Monroe now has a winning record. When we come back on Friday night in the booth, there's another team with a big name. May not have had a great regular season, but now they're getting that winning mode as we get through the postseason, trying to make that trip on the road to the Dome. We'll be right back with more of Friday Night in the Booth.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
Getting you every score from around the state on Friday night in the boot. Check out Hahnville, the Tigers over HL Bourgeois. 49-39 is an 8 seed. They will play the 20 seed Chalmette. A last play of the game field goal, upsetting the Terrebonne Tigers. Westfell, 50-29 over Carroll. The Saints will take on number 1 seed Franklinton. So it'll be Saints against Demons. How do you like that matchup? Iota, 21-0 over Assumption. Iota, the 9 seed, will face the 8 seed Lakeshore, which beat Rain 48-14. Elsewhere, you've got Iowa routing Lagrange 48-6. Iowa will take on Wassman, which upset Minden 26-11. The Bruley Panthers over South Beauregard 49-29. Powerful Franklin Parish is next up for Bruley. North DeSoto rips Woodlawn Shreveport, shutting them out 44-0. They will take on the 10 seed Bellchase. 56-21 winners over the Patriots of North Vermilion. Elsewhere, we have St. James sitting back and watching Donaldsonville upset Baker, so that'll be a rivalry game in round 2 of the playoffs. The Wildcats against the Donaldsonville Tigers. Pine over St. Helena, 40-16. They'll get Kaplan, which routed North Webster 50-0. The Farmers back in stride, beating Oakdale 42-6. Union Parish will get Red River 48-6 winners over Winfield. So some interesting second-round matchups.
Yeah, a couple of interesting second-round matchups. I'm already getting excited for next week, but we kind of got to look here.
Stick to the rest of the games.
We're going to stick here to week 1, and we got a long segment here coming up for you with plenty of highlights. Let's start with the Westminster Christian Academy Lafayette Chargers taking on Opelousas Catholic. A little bit of bling from the baseball teams. They showing it off. I love to see that. Show off it. Look at there. There's a Viking hopping around, having some fun. Ready to see this one. Now look, Westminster Christian Lafayette led 27-7. A tale of two halves though. Cross Gillen gets a comeback started with a dart over the middle to Carter Stelly. The junior wideout makes it 27-14. Westminster gets the ball back, and quarterback David Beasley's pass is broken up by Vikings defensive back Maurice Marcel. Try saying that name 12 times fast. Next possession, Cross Gillen. Here he comes. Rowan Badger on a 20-yard pass. Badger goes beast mode. A couple of filthy moves, making defenders miss. He's still not down. And they'll finally knock him out. At some point, he had to go out eventually.
They're not coming all the way back.
I don't know. You never know. There he is right there. Roger Tizeno Jr. with the big-time catch. Helps the dude up as well. Disrespectful. Gillen's going to give it himself now. Call his own number. Gets into the end zone for another touchdown. I don't know if you're keeping up the score at home, but it's 27-21. Here they come. The Chargers derailed on their next possession by this Braden Fontenot and Jake Soprano. The teammates track down Beasley for the sack, and Vikings fans, they're starting to believe this is going to happen. Here's a throw up. Is it caught? Is it caught or did it hit the ground? What's the referee rule? It's caught. Point to the first down there, fella. That's they would trade touchdowns. Now Opelousas Catholic leading. And here comes, look at that, running a dude over, running another dude over as well. That is another chance here. Now 34-33. And guess what? This game might have to be on ice. Sacked in the backfield, and that would put the game on ice. Opelousas Catholic comes back from so far down to take down Westminster Christian Lafayette. The Chargers almost being able to pull off that slight upset. Opelousas Catholic takes on Ascension Catholic next week.
I tell you what, the Vikings are strong here late in the season. The Catholic Point Capee, and then this comeback, I'm telling you.
They could be a tough out for Ascension Catholic to handle. Interesting to see. They played each other at the start of last year. That's where I figured out the legend of Chad Elzey Jr. last year.
You got another team that was in the Superdome last year. We mentioned Riverside. Their opponent last year was Southern Lab. The Kittens winning the title. They were at home tonight.
Taking on Sacred Heart. 13v20 matchup. Going to the ground to start off, it's Trevoris Norman Jr. He's going to weave his way past a couple of defenders, and there he goes. Can they bring him down? They finally do bring him down, but it's not until he's inside the area, or the red zone there. And then the Norman, give it to Norman again. Look at the big fella move. Chasing down people tackled around the 2-yard line, and then it's Jerry Botley. He's going to punch it in himself, calls his own number, walks in basically. Southern Lab gets it done over Sacred Heart. There's Botley with another great pass over the middle. And the final score from this one, a big blowout for Sacred Heart, or for Southern Lab, sorry, 52-0. They'll take on, that's a long road trip, St. Frederick's, district champs for the first time in 28 years, I believe was the storyline heading into this week. Be interested to see if Coach Bilderback can have his boys ready for a big-time test against Southern Lab.
So the Catholic League is a meat grinder, and one of the teams emerging into the playoffs, the Blue Jays of Jesuit, at home tonight, taking on the Lions of Lafayette. They played this one at the Shrine on Airline. It was actually a doubleheader. John Curtis had played the earlier game. First possession for the Lions, I'll tell you what, the defense for Jesuit, strong all night. You see Wyatt Meyer, the linebacker, with a hit right there. Then on offense, their quarterback, Taylor Norton, looking to the end zone. Couldn't hook up with Roman Larry. They end up with a field goal attempt. It doesn't go through, so it's still a scoreless game. The Lions then coming back with the football. Richmond Saunier, but James Roninger picks it off for the Blue Jays as they get a turnover on top of that big hit last time. The senior linebacker with the play, and then it's the offense that will capitalize. A short 1-yard touchdown run for the Blue Jays to go ahead 7-0. The attack would continue on their next possession. Norton, a touchdown pass for a 14-0 Blue Jays lead. And the Lions can't seem to get anything going on offense. There's going to be another big hit in the backfield and a fumble on the sack. I believe that was Luke Canizero with the hit on that one. The linebacker lay in the wood. They got the field goal to make it a 17-0 lead. Lions going to try one more time in the first half on offense. But I'll tell you what, this was all Blue Jays first half, second half, all the way home. The final, 45-7, Jesuit over Lafayette. The Blue Jays now 7-4 will take on the 6th seed Turlings Catholic, which had a bye in the first round of the playoffs.
Catholic League, man, I tell you what, they play a hard schedule throughout the whole year. You get into the playoffs, and now they're starting to play some teams that aren't in the Catholic League, but then you're going to match up against some teams who are in the Catholic League, just like John Curtis and Brother Martin, who were forced to play an earlier game due to stadium availability down in New Orleans, so they played at 3:30. And Garland Gillen was there to catch all the action, and he filed this report.
Our Fox 8 Football Friday game of the week is a battle of Catholic League powers. It's the John Curtis Patriots taking on the Brother Martin Crusaders. John Curtis took round 1 in the regular season. Curtis driving inside Satyr territory, but we have a fumble. Mad scramble for the rock. Dermot Brown recovers for Brother Martin. Patriots get the ball back and attacking again on the ground. Anthony Smith off to the races. 56 yards later, he's in Satyr territory. That would lead to this. Jack Corcoran, 5-yard touchdown run. Patriots on the board, 7-0. Curtis defense holding it down, so Patriots back on the attack. Reggie Johnson to Jacoby Boudreaux. He's got some real estate. He would take it all the way down to the 3-yard line. After a sack, it's 4th and goal from the Satyr 23-yard line. Patriots going for it. Johnson throws in the end zone, falls incomplete, still 7-0. Patriots nonstop in the first half. Johnson to the air, connects with a wide open Boudreaux for a 29-yard touchdown, 14-0 Patriots. Halfway through the second quarter, Brother Martin puts some points on the scoreboard. Julian Cutter, 18-yard touchdown, 14-7. Right before half, Pats find the end zone again. Johnson, 11-yard touchdown run. Pats 21-7 at the break. Halfway through the third quarter, Johnson on the QB sneak in a pileup. Luca Canizaro with the strip and recovery for Brother Martin. 4th and long, Crusaders rolling the dice. Seth the Zet threads the needle, hits Rex LeBlanc for a 25-yard touchdown. Extra point no good, 21-13. Crusaders inside the 20. Running back gets popped. Fumble. Agent Zero, Xavier Brown on the recovery. Satyrs get the ball back. They're driving late. The Zet gets sacked by Benjamin Barron. Curtis defense holds firm. They win this one, 21-13.
Yeah, well, it's just like our district. You know, every game is going to be like this. And I think that what it does is that prepares us for what we're going to face in the next week. Obviously, Brother Martin's a really good football team. The quarterback played really well. They've got some good players. We played hard and, again, had a little problem with turnovers that we've got to eliminate and give ourselves a little bit better chance to win a game.
Next week, John Curtis hits the road to face Acadiana. In City Park, Garland Gillen, Fox 8, Local First.
You think number 94, that freshman defensive lineman, Zaire Shepard, wasn't a little bit excited with his team getting this victory? A mild upset, I guess, with the Seeds 19-14. The Patriots now back to 500. And I tell you what, Boudreaux making all the big plays. That looked like an excellent atmosphere. 3:30 in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the morning, when it's the playoffs, you give it go time, and the Curtis Patriots got it done against the Crusaders.
And look who they'll take on next. They'll take on Acadiana. And I tell you what, if you told me Acadiana and John Curtis would play in the second round, I would think this would be some high-intensity matchup that somehow the 1 and the 2 seeds meet in the second round. But it's a 19 versus 3 seed. It'll be interesting to see how Acadiana and John Curtis play out.
Well, those two offenses just by themselves, right? It's going to be interesting to see who's willing to throw that football, and obviously Curtis did some in this game. So,
another score here for you. East Jeff takes down Bonneville 28-10. The Warriors, who came into this game 7-3, they improved to 8-3. Not an easy trip for them next week. They'll come up to Baton Rouge and they'll take on Catholic, who had the bye week, obviously, and you kind of see how the teams are going to navigate the bye week. We'll see how that looks next week.
They've got a lot of film to look at. When Catholic scores 73 points and has like 10 different guys involved in the offense, like who do you cover? Who do you try to stop? That's a large task for them to take. It
is a tough, large task. We want to make sure we read out every single score for everyone watching at home, and I believe we missed some here tonight. Mansfield takes down Avoyelles 58-14. They'll take on Oak Grove in the next round. Lakeside takes down Bogalusa 37-12. And Sterlington took down Patterson 63-12. A couple of teams that will match up there, Lakeside and Sterlington, putting 12s on the opponent's scoreboard. Gina took down Caldwell Parish 52-0. And then Port Allen with the upset over Church Point, 23 seed over the 10 seed. They'll take on Gina next week. Loreauville took down Marksville 48-26. They'll face familiar foes in Erath. And then in Division 4 non-select, Haynesville had the bye. They'll play Montgomery, who took down Vinton in a 42-40 close matchup. Welsh took down West St. Mary 59-24. Faraday took down Lake Arthur 30-7. This game was called off due to a brawl on the field. It'll be interesting to see if anything does come out of that. Not something we would like to see, but it'll be interesting. North Iberville took down Oberlin 44-6, and General Trash took down Centerville 64-20. It'll be North Iberville versus General Trash next week. And then, last one, Grand Lake with the win over Jonesboro Hodge 23-20. They'll take on Jeanerette next week.
And on the network tomorrow, we've got live state championships, volleyball championships, 5 matches in a row. We'll both be over at the Cajun Dome for that. And then on Monday, we've got 8 hours of live coverage from Natchitoches, the cross-country championships, 10 different division, boys and girls. We did it for the first time last year. Drones flying around, cameras at the finish line, interviews, podiums. An exciting weekend for the network before we get back into football for week 2 of the playoffs.
I'm certainly going to need to lie down after this weekend and into next week. But we want to thank you for joining us here tonight on Friday Night in the Boot. And we'll see you next week for round 2.
Bye.